Senator Inhofe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm glad I had a chance to visit with all of you when I first came in to let you know one of the problems we have with this musical chairs going back and forth between two committees, both of them very significant, and actually dealing with a very similar issue that we're dealing with today. I think some of you here are very familiar with the skilled workforce that we have in Oklahoma from our past. It's a home of a lot of companies that do the work, including Nordam and Spirit Aerosystems. In fact, Mr. Neely, I think they make the wing for your 7.6. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, they're very much involved. Nordam and Spirit both work to ensure that we have skilled workers. I want to share with you an experience, a personal experience that I had many years ago when I was in the state legislature. Our governor at that time was Dewey Bartlett. He and I was in the state senate, really kind of came up with the idea. We didn't have any technical schools in Oklahoma at that time. And with the idea that so a lot of parents are pushing their kids one direction or another, completely forgetting about the fact that there's a lot of happiness and futures that can be made in technical training. So we actually started the very first tech school in the state of Oklahoma. And so that was, we go back to the beginning. So through a STEM initiative and nonprofit called the Tulsa Night Flight, Nordam has engaged children, students, and teachers to inspire them to work in STEM and to seek out the technical education needed to build airplanes. Spirit has built a strong relationship with Tulsa Tech to develop their curriculum, and they are on a constant communication with each other to make sure they get the right one. So, Mr. Neely, are you, as you develop relationships with technical colleges, what are some of the lessons learned? How did the faculty respond to your efforts?
So as I mentioned in my opening remarks, our workforce development strategies has evolved over time, and I think one of the key lessons learned as we've been through this process is we should have earlier on done a lot better job of looking at the whole picture and not making the mistake we made of being a bit too siloed at looking at what manufacturing might need with a particular program within a technical college and what the aircraft maintenance side might have needed within either a different technical college or a different area. And we allowed ourselves to be a little bit too splintered on the Gulfstream side, and then on the side of using Georgia as an example, the Technical College System of Georgia, which is the network of technical schools. I think they would say the same thing, that they made the mistake of letting themselves get a little bit too fractured as well. However, what we've done, continuous improvement, what we've done to correct that is we step back both internally and with our colleagues at the technical college system and the university system as well, and said, you know what, we need a more comprehensive, cross-functional approach. So within Gulfstream, we formed a cross-functional team, of which I'm a part, along with human resources and their manufacturing team and a number of others, including engineering, and identify the skill sets that we need both today and in the future, and then have worked very collaboratively with the senior people at the technical college system to understand, here are our needs today and tomorrow, what programs do you have currently, and then where we don't have programs that can address our needs, how can we work together, and in the working together part.
Yeah, one of the problems, though, you have is how are you going to determine what your needs. They're going through an educational process. It might be a 2-year program. Mm-hmm. And so it has to be difficult to know what are your needs going to be 2 years from now. I mean, just one administration change can totally change that.
You mean in terms of technology?
Yeah, in terms of what you are going to call upon for a trained worker 2 years from now. It would be difficult, I would think. But my time is running out, and I want to get to Ms. Marks. You have kind of a special situation in that you are so diversified. You work across multiple sectors ranging from oil and gas to energy, and these sectors are often the first to embrace new technologies and have huge investments in working training and retraining programs, including for veterans. So how does a diverse company like yours, like Siemens, utilize on-the-job training, apprenticeships, to make sure that the knowledge is passed on from one group to another?
Well, Senator, it's very important that the knowledge get passed on, and we do it in a few ways. One is each of our apprentices is matched up with someone to do on-the-job training, and they both take great care to do this, to mentor them, as well as to share the skill set in addition. One thing we have done, working very closely with 4 different community colleges, though, is put together a playbook so that everyone, and I'm happy to share this because it's been published.
Now, when you say that, you're talking about your experience in Oklahoma, too.
Well, our experience in Oklahoma, where we have our wind service center, and we do on-the-job training.
Yeah.
We don't have any apprentices there.
I see. Mm-hmm.
But our apprentices are visible everywhere. They actually wear an apprentice badge, and it's actually on their work clothing, and they're proud of it. Because that comes from the German model, where it's actually viewed as value add, and this is our next generation of the workforce.
Yeah.
So we are trying to share lessons learned, and we're happy to share them with any company.
Well, thank you very much. And the only regret I have, Mr. Chairman, is that my kids and grandkids are going to be so disappointed that I didn't have a question for Cliff. Thank you.